Hey Taurus family, what is going on? Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive. Ooh, nice. I like this, guys. Trust the flow, right? How often do we have to do that? It's way easier said than done. You know, life is earth energy. It moves slowly. Even when we can see how things are going to work out, our intuition picks all that up, etc. We still have to be patient and move through the process and trust how things are moving. There is intelligent order everywhere we look, right? And that's why some things take time. Whoop, whoop, right, Taurus? All right, so let's look at your weekly energy. Let's see what's going on as the whole and how it plays out for you guys. Okay, so back to nature. I love this. You know, this is such a perfect time of year, right? Because we are in the spring season, Aries season. It's such a great time to connect with ourselves. You are earth energy. Taurus is an earth sign. And it's a great time to get into nature. You probably love being outside, love the woods, or, you know, even just like putting your feet in the grass, something like that. I know it's still a little cold depending on where you live, etc. But this is a lot about grounding and stabilizing your energy. It's remembering that we are the magnet for what we attract. So when our energy is split, when it's all over the place, we end up, you know, making choices that maybe do make it a little bit challenging or harder on ourselves. But that's also that part of surrender that comes through step by step, paying attention, trusting the flow, knowing that our action or reaction is never good, bad, right, or wrong. It's about our evolution, right? And how, whether we can see, whether we can learn, our soul wants to learn more, right? That's the process. And we do have to tap into this level of vulnerability, which is really challenging. I feel like vulnerability can be very challenging for earth signs. I see that often where, you know, because you are probably more grounded and stable, it's easier for you to come across as having it all together. So when things do feel shaky or uneasy, or maybe you do need to be a bit more honest and vulnerable, authentic with someone, it doesn't even have to just be in the good stuff, right? Or in the bad stuff. It can be in the good stuff too. Like, that really talks about opening up your heart, being more honest and authentic with how you're showing up. And you're going to be able to do that best by getting back in tune with yourself. So nature doesn't even have to be your vibe, right? I mean, I think it's pretty fabulous. So it's hard for me to envision someone who doesn't really like it, right? And you being an earth sign at all. But, you know, just this really speaks to whatever makes you feel happy and fulfilled. Yeah, the world, things are shifting and changing. And I feel like, to me, this is more representative of the cycles that you move through in life. You feel that it is change and it's not exactly how you want it to be. Whatever the situation is that you're dealing with, right? It goes back to those first two cards that popped out while I was shuffling. To trust the flow, trust the evolution. It is messing with you a little bit though. This is the card of Temperance. But in this deck, it's actually really beautiful. It's the Fairylet, and it's connecting with our emotions and using that as our alchemy. Using that, you know, our emotions are sending us certain signals. And anytime we're like annoyed or frustrated with someone, or it's not working how we want it to, or whatever, we have to use those emotions to find a solution, to fuel that energy, that knowledge, that intelligence within us. So that Ace of Pentacles speaks to new beginnings as well. With perhaps a fire sign, we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius on the board. You might be vibrating in a fiery kind of way. But this actually feels like an energy. It's not yours. It's like you're watching someone else is what I'm hearing, right? You're watching someone else kind of, I don't know, like grow and evolve and grab the bull by the horns is what I'm hearing, right? With that Wands energy and the Prince of Pentacles in reverse. I don't specifically read reversals, but he is the slowest moving guy. So it does speak to whatever you're dealing with, the energy is picking up. And that's confirmed with this fire energy. Because you feel like you're a little bit more sucked into your emotions. Earth energy does have water in it, right? It does have that combination. So sometimes when there is a lot going on in our world, maybe we're juggling a lot, we're doing a lot, etc. It can just make things seem bigger than what they really are. So you're watching this thing unfold. It's making you feel a certain kind of way. They might not be giving you, I don't know, the time of day, or maybe I'm hearing like the dynamic has changed, or you've had to walk away from this person because of the toxicity, The Emperor, the Lord, is Aries energy. You could be on the Taurus Aries cusp. This is just coming through as someone who's being really specific about the decisions that they're making. They don't, the Lord is the guy who keeps it all together, right? He has the schedule, the planner, the details. He needs that order and structure, but that's also what makes him so accomplished. And that's where there might have been some things, friends, relationships, gossip, that might have gotten in the way of that, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, so that things could move forward. This wheel to me is a lot about karma and progression and, allowing things to evolve and grow. You really have to connect with your intuition around this, Taurus. Something about this, and this makes sense, right? Heightened energy, heightened emotion does mean heightened intuition. It means we feel a lot of things, which is the annoying part. But it's also a vehicle, a mechanism to understand a little bit better how we need to handle things. Because something's kind of being... And, something's kind of being, it goes back to this magnet energy, right? Of like attracts like. What we put out there, we get in return. So if you don't like how a situation is showing up, you see that something is happening, that this person or situation is changing and shifting. And maybe, I don't know. How do you feel about it? Yeah, it's you're conflicted. That's why I said, I don't know. It's like, it's good, but maybe not. I don't know. There's something about it that kind of provokes you in a certain kind of way. Yeah. Just lots of fighting, lots of arguing. We've been seeing that a lot because I feel like we're in Aries season, so everyone's kind of fighting for their position. But it really speaks to the level of immaturity, There's that fire energy again. Maybe you knew someone when they were acting a little more immature, inappropriate. Maybe they got their stuff together. And that's where that King of Wands, Nine of Cups comes through. This is a very, again, there's a lot of selfish energy coming through about, sometimes fire signs are challenging to deal with because they do like to be front and center. They are used to the limelight on some level. And when they think they know something, they think they know something, you know? And so for your energy that is very grounded and methodical, you know, perhaps you have this very strict routine for yourself, etc. It's hard to deal with that kind of energy, especially when it is vibing in this Princess of Wands way, right? She makes immature decisions. She's not the smartest. She can be kind of fickle, etc. But there's a lot about like personal victory that's coming through as well with this Six of Wands and Five of Swords. So both parties want to feel like, you know, what I did was right. Both parties want to be justified. But you might not be getting, you know, I mean, it kind of goes back to what I'm hearing, this step-by-step energy for you, Taurus, just knowing that things are going to continue to evolve. This is, yeah, kind of really tapping into a little bit more mellow vibe, right? Tea is such like a relaxing, therapeutic, the tarantula popped out. So places that our fears, our worries get the best of us, you know? To me, this is, especially from like an Ayurvedic perspective, this is a lot about like how active how active we are. If we're constantly going from person, place, or thing, like constantly on the move, we're enlivening that air energy, that movement principle. Meaning it's going to make our brain feel a lot more anxietous, fearful, fear of the unknown. So that's where that nature card comes into play that we saw at the very beginning, really getting in tune, with what you want. Yeah, that herbalist side of you. If you love herbs, herbal medicine, really connect with nature is amazing and beautiful for that. Maybe you need to go for a walk in a, you know, untouched place of land, you know, just go for a hike through the woods, whatever, you know, connect with the energy of the plants, of the new life that is budding underneath. It's really such a beautiful time. Yeah, because there is abundance here for you. And that is coming through your discipline, your structure, the things that you have done well for yourself, Taurus. It looks like you've really pushed through. And I think that's, you know, a beautiful thing. I feel like it's just also about trusting your gut instincts a little bit more and opening up your heart, right? Finding ways to show up in a little bit more authentic and vulnerable way. Because I feel like that's where you are going to find that abundance. Like the Nine of Cups brings our wish fulfillment, but it also connects to our emotions, what makes us happy and fulfilled, and we all deserve to live that life, right? So it's not just the action, the schedule, the planning, the to-do that we do, right? It's also about the feeling and the emotion behind it and whether we're connecting with it or not. So this is for just for this week. Remember that, you know, you can find ways to ground, to establish yourself, to feel more centered and balanced. There's a lot of different mechanisms. You are what you put out there, right? It's the law of attraction at its finest. And be patient with yourself. It's step by step, right? Day by day. All right, guys. Lots of love and blessing. Hope this reading helped. Thanks so much for tuning in. Big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Definitely drop comments below. Let's build and grow the community. Lots of love, everyone.